Hi, Steve Backlund here from Igniting Hope Ministries. Welcome to the Igniting Hope Beliefs Gym. These podcasts are to help us believe higher. Just listening to the content. I've got over 500 podcasts out there. You just listen. They're full of hope. They're full of good news. They're full of practical tools to help us believe higher about God, ourselves, other people, circumstances, our future. Again, what we believe is more important than what we do. What we do is important, but it's not as important as what we believe. And so we decide what we're going to believe and then strengthen those beliefs. It's like deciding I'm going to work out this muscle. I'm deciding I'm going to be stronger in my core, in my legs, in my arms, etc. We decide and then we work those beliefs, those muscles out. It's the same way with beliefs. And today we're going to get into something that's just going to reinforce the beliefs gym. By the way, nobody wants flabby beliefs, because flabby beliefs, our load-bearing capacity is limited. If we have weak beliefs about God, weak beliefs about ourselves, weak beliefs about other people, weak beliefs about the decisions we're making and are making, then our load-bearing capacity is limited. Our influence is limited. And we will be more of a victim mindset than a victor. Now, the title of this podcast is Declarations, the Science Behind It. Now, I'm not going to do a detailed dissertation and document different things, but I'm just going to say something that most of us know. And I hope it stimulates you to do some research on your own. Do an online search of the science behind our words, or really behind our beliefs. But as we think about working out our beliefs, one of the greatest ways we work out our beliefs is through what we say. What we say. Romans 4:17, we call those things that are not as though they are. And really, let me say more about that. God gives life to the dead by calling those things that are not as though they are, calling those things that do not exist as though they did. And so we realize that just in changing what we actually believe, which is going to change what we actually feel, which is going to change what we experience, one of the greatest ways we do that is through declarations, faith statements of truth. And James 3 says our words are like a bit in a horse's mouth and a rudder on a ship. Words are the directing agents of our life. Whatever we talk a lot about, we get pulled towards. Whatever we want to see, we talk a lot about. You want to see greater connection to your family? We speak it. I've got great connection with my family. I have great conversations with my family. It doesn't mean we're not doing other things to try to strengthen that, but the greatest thing we do is work on our beliefs, because we can't consistently do what we don't believe we are. And Romans 12:2 says, be transformed by the renewing of our mind. So transformation personally and situation comes from renewing our minds. It doesn't say be transformed by trying harder. Proverbs 18:21 says, death and life is in the power of the tongue, and those who love it will eat its fruit. Now, the future is in the mouths of intentional speakers. Life is in the power of the tongue. Our words are not just containers of information, they're creative. In John 6, Jesus said, my words are spirit and they are life. Words are powerful. Ephesians 4:29 says, let no corrupt word proceed out of your mouth, but only that which is for necessary edification, that it may impart grace to the hearers. Grace, the empowerment to do God's will. Our words cause what we say to happen. That's why speakers, preachers, teachers, Bible study leaders, parents, friends, we realize that our words carry a substance on them. that influences the people we speak to concerning what we're actually saying. Not just influences them in their thinking, but also there's a grace that hopefully is a grace that is positive. Now, let's get back to the science of it. I'm doing a blog on this as well, and I'll just share a few things from the blog, not the entire blog, but I share 5 things that about this topic, declarations, the science behind it. Number 1, I say our brains are wired for change. Our brains are wired for change. And again, I'm saying that one of the greatest ways we change what we believe is through what we say. Let me read what I say. Modern neuroscience calls this neuroplasticity, which is the brain's ability to rewire itself through repeated input, focus, and experience. This means our thinking patterns are not fixed. Our mindsets are not permanently stuck. Our emotional reactions, expectations, and beliefs are being shaped continually by what we focus on, rehearse, and repeat. This is good news for those of us who desire to become stronger in how we think. I'm reading more that's in the blog. We understand this principle when it comes to other parts of the body. If we want stronger muscles, we intentionally exercise them. If we want better cardiovascular health, we consistently walk, run, or move. If we want flexibility, we stretch repeatedly. Most of us understand we must steward our physical bodies intentionally, but many do not realize our brains and thought lives are to be stewarded intentionally as well. Declarations are like going to the gym for our thinking. Let me say that again. Declarations are like going to the gym for our thinking. Repeated truth strengthens spiritual and mental muscles that help us believe, hope, and live differently. And by the way, we are already training our minds whether we realize it or not. The question is not, are we being trained? The question is, what are we being trained by? Now, that's kind of the first point in the blog. And I was just thinking about this, that the brain is kind of like a muscle in our body. And it's the mind, it's part of the soul, the mind, will, and emotions. Now, our emotions certainly come so much from what we think. Wendy's book, Victorious Emotions, goes deep into that. And she covers a little bit of the science as well. But I've just been thinking this past week, wow, it's like I want different parts of my body to be healthy and strong. And the same thing is with the brain, the same thing with my thinking, same thing with my mind. I want it to be healthy and I want it to be strong. And I just released the revelation over you, over me as well, that we will see this as very possible, it's very wise to say, we're going to target our mind and we're going to renew our mind and we're going to work it out. Now, we've been doing this. You who are regular podcast listeners, I'm just saying the same thing in a little different way. But I think when we say it a little different way, the light bulb goes on for different people. And the light bulb went off for me even in a greater way, that I can have a flabby belief system. We've already talked, I can. But that flabby beliefs, flabby bodies just come from not exercising them, not working them out. and so we work out our beliefs so much through what we say. Now, I'm not going to read to you all of it, but the second point I made, words just don't express thoughts, they direct them. Declarations are more than words, they are intentional, they intentionally direct our thoughts. You can't think a lie when you speak the truth. Number 3 is repetition builds conviction. Repetition builds conviction. Whatever we repeat comes stronger. We do reps. We do reps with our body. We do reps to strengthen different parts of our body. We do reps with our beliefs as well. One of the greatest ways to do reps is through declaring truth, speaking God's promises, speaking our identity, speaking prophetic words, speaking the prophecies that are in testimonies, speaking the commitments and assignments, attaching faith to those and speaking it out. I'm supposed to be here. I'm supposed to be there. I choose them again. I choose you again. Number 4, declarations shape identity, not just behavior. Again, we can't consistently do it. Don't believe we are. Abram, who in the Old Testament means exalted father. He, after 20 years of no promise fulfilled, of his descendants being like the stars of the sky and the sand of the sea, he changed his name from Abram, exalted father, to Abraham, father of a multitude. And he changed the name of Sarai to Sarah, princess to princess of many. Many scholars believe that's what Sarah means. And he worked out his beliefs by what he called them. Every time he said his name, who are you? I'm father of a multitude. That's literally what he said. He worked out his beliefs in identity. He worked out the identity beliefs of the key people in his life. He called them. He called them by the promise, not by their experience or not what he saw and felt. Again, it doesn't mean we don't have to manage our lives. Doesn't mean we don't have conversations about behaviors and things. But it's what we work out our beliefs. Great leaders, great preachers work out their beliefs about the people they're leading. It isn't just passive. It isn't. No, I lead great people. I lead significant people. I lead prosperous people. I lead people whose prayers are powerful and effective. I lead people who are winning people to the Lord. We work out our beliefs about the people. and we work them out so much by what we say. And then number 5, Scripture was and is ahead of science. I just say this. Science now confirms that repeated thought, focus, and language patterns can shape the brain. Neuroscience describes this, again, as neuroplasticity. Repeated mental activity can strengthen neural connections, and repeated patterns can become more automatic over time. Wow. And so today I just say, wow. And for some of you, it's a fun thing. Like I say, one of the things, do an online search of laughter and health. It's really fun. But just even the power of words, and again, there's something deeper, the power of beliefs, how they shape literal synapses in our brains and pathways, and there's ruts in our brains that have come from repeated, they're literally strongholds from repeatedly renewing our mind with lies instead of truth, and that there's pathways so that we fall into that thinking. We respond with that thinking because that's been what we've done. It's not only spiritual. There's actually brain. Our brain is operating in such a way that's actually creating that response. But declarations are part of, we can create new pathways and create new strongholds so that our responses are coming, they're automated responses that are coming from positive strongholds of faith, hope, love, courage, peace, joy, confidence. Hey, this is a good one today. This is a good one. The science behind declarations, really the science behind beliefs. I believe that the Lord is going to create an army of people who are working out their beliefs. Again, one of my dreams is that belief workouts will become more popular than physical fitness workouts. Hey, we got an app, Igniting Hope app. You can find that. And there's just a lot of good things on there that will help you work out your beliefs. Hey, if you like this message, why don't you tell somebody about it? You can find us on YouTube as well if you're listening to the audio message. And we bless you. By the way, just let me tell you, we're going to be, I'm going to be at Victory Church in Houston, Texas this weekend, right after I record this. Wendy and I are going to be in Nashville, Tennessee. Wendy's doing something with Taylor Welch, the Deep End there. They're doing a live event there. I'm going to have a small role, but I am going as Wendy Backlund's husband. By the way, Wendy's got a interview with Taylor Welch on the Deep End. That's I think 300,000-400,000 people have watched it. It's so many people have been blessed by that. And Wendy just finished a book called The Unveiling that's coming out soon. She finished a book less than a year ago, I think, Victoria's Prayers. She's on a roll. And we're going to be in Redding, California on May 29th and 30th, Friday and Saturday, for the Abounding Hope and Joy Conference. We've been doing these conferences for years, and it's a theme of, hope and joy. By the way, hope and joy is the fruit of good beliefs. It's going to be a fun conference. If there's still room for people to be live, and we're doing an online presentation if the people want to participate online. IgnitingHopeAcademy.com. IgnitingHopeAcademy.com is information about the Abounding Hope and Joy Conference, and also Wendy's mentorship that she's doing. And then in June, we're doing an 8-week online course. We did it last year, Fully Convinced, The Art of Decision Making. It's one of my most important courses. It's shorter than some of the other ones we've done, but really it's made for people on the go. Most of the content is you can do it on your own time. And then we have a weekly Zoom that we're rotating times on that for different people. But Fully Convinced, The Art of Decision Making. A bad decision made in faith has a greater likelihood of success than a good decision made in doubt. And one of the things about being conformed to the image of Christ, it's not only in our behavior, but it's in our thinking. And we are getting increasingly fully convinced about who we are, what God's called us to do, about his goodness, his love, etc. Decision making. If you need help in decision making, and I sure did in my life, and I write out of my own struggle in decision making, again, at Igniting Hope Academy, that's starting June 20-something. Yeah, way to go, Steve. Way to be specific there. And then the Backlund Leadership Academy is starting again in September. The greatest, it is the thing that dives the deepest, I'll use that language, into my content, our content as well. The 8 pillars of leadership I teach on. It's made for people on the go, 68 hours a week. We have a dream project, and we're just finishing up. We're going to do graduation next week of our first and second year students. And it's just so fun because everybody who graduates, and looks like it's going to be pretty much everybody this year, is doing a dream project, writing a book, starting an online course, doing something that benefits people. And we've had so many testimonies of books. Last year, we had out of 36 graduates, we had 20 of our graduates in first year write a book. Almost all of them was for first time, most of them. And so, yeah, it's just, it's really a thing. And, I just say, hey, people who spend 9 months with us, I believe that it's going to be hard to stay the same. And I've mentored people for years, and this is my strongest mentoring thing, raising people up into leadership in different capacities. and it's a Backlund Leadership Academy. And yeah, so you can go to ignitinghopeacademy.com for information on that. And if you're not signed up for our newsletter, you can go to ignitinghope.com and sign up, and you'll get the emails, you'll get inspiration, you get the blogs that go with the podcast, plus you'll get to hear what we're doing. There's so much that's happening right now. Hope is kind of an important thing, to say the least. Hey, I have a few prophetic words I'm going to release at the end, and always love doing that. But I just want to say thank you. We're here to ignite your hope. Hope is the belief that the future will be better than the present, and we have the power to help make it so. And increasing hope is the evidence we're renewing our mind with truth instead of lies. Decreasing hope is the evidence we're renewing our mind with lies instead of truth. Our hope level determines our influence level, and he who has the most hope has the most influence. I believe after love, hope is the most powerful leadership quality there is. After my connection with the Lord, my intimacy with Jesus, I work on my hope more than anything else to keep my hope up. And hope is risky. I used to not want to listen to hope preachers because I risked being disappointed again. Gideon in Judges 6, when an angel came and gave him a hope message, he said, "The Lord is with you, mighty warrior." He basically said, I'm not listening to that. Because my life, I've moved my life into self-protection. I want to protect myself of losing anything more, of being disappointed again. But the seed got in him and he changed the nation. There's two ways to live. We can live a hopeless life and never be disappointed. Or we can live a hope-filled life with occasional disappointment. And also remember too, the joy of the Lord is our strength. I used to say, well, Lord, I'll be joyful when all my uncertainties are over, when I'm completely satisfied with me in every way, when all the people in my life are doing what I think they should be doing. Got all the money I need. I'm only hearing good news in the media. Yep, then I'll be joyful. No, I mean, I don't need strength at the end of the battle. I need strength in the middle of the battle. And really, pretty much everybody listening, this is not a convenient season to be radically joyful. Let's laugh at that. I've never found a convenient season to be radically joyful. There's always a reason why. But a merry heart is good like medicine. To be physically, mentally strong, emotionally strong, a merry heart, laughter is part of that. We don't laugh all the time, but a lifestyle that doesn't value laughter is going to be not as strong and healthy. And we increase our joy by thanksgiving, by delighting in the Lord, by recognizing what God's doing in us, because what's happening in us is more important than what's happening through us. And if we can put language to what God's doing us, even with our trials that we're all facing, oh, God's doing this in me. God's teaching me to persevere. God's teaching me not to withdraw my heart from people who disappoint me. God's teaching me not just to speak everything I feel. As we were able to put language to that, we can increase our joy because we understand that we're in training. I'm in training for something greater. Oh, boy. Hey, just a few words that I want to give here, that the Lord is really putting a grace on people who are ministering to children in this hour. And for there's some of you just kind of say, well, I'm not sure. And you've been kind of praying into it. This could be a confirmation. Go for it. And really support your local church's children's ministry. And I just see God giving you grace to do that. And I'm also hearing that asking children what they think and giving children opportunity to pray, the Lord is giving opportunities for that. And he's going to prompt you and bring children into various settings and ask them, okay, what do you believe the Lord's saying? Or just giving people an assignment, children an assignment. Hey, give me a Bible verse. Yeah, there may be some weird ones, but there's going to be a lot of success as well. And I'm hearing this, that, and I've said this on other podcasts, but I'm prompted to say it again. The Lord is freeing people from night terrors. He's freeing people from night terrors and even demonic things happening in the night. I just speak of protection. He's freeing, and you have night terrors and even struggles in the night. God is giving you a ministry to set other people free. You're going to find the Lord in a fresh way in that. God is freeing people right now who have been dependent on prescription drugs. This is an hour where there is a strength and there's a strategy to break that thing off. The Lord is rekindling hearts in families. He's softening your heart for your family right now. And God is releasing a grace on you to decrease expenses in your life. Hey, thanks so much for listening to this podcast or watching it. And I want to thank the Vision Partners for Igniting Hope for helping support what we're doing. It means so much. You can go to ignitinghope.com and find out about that. And people who, it's an opportunity to sow consistently into Igniting Hope. And again, I say it every time. Not everybody's called to do that. And I recognize that. There's so many great ministries. There's so many great places to sow. But some of you are. And I believe it's a win-win that you help us win. And it's just in that sowing, we help you win as well in hope and that. And so that's ignitinghope.com. We got a lot of other great things on our website and that. And God bless you. Thanks so much for being in this belief workout gym, the Igniting Hope Beliefs Gym. Yes, we're strengthening our beliefs today. Romans 4:20, Abraham was strengthened in faith, giving glory to God. Lord, we strengthen our faith mainly by keeping our eyes on you. We magnify you. We behold your glory. And as we do that, our problems get smaller. As we magnify you, the devil gets smaller. Our feelings get smaller because you get bigger. We can't make you any bigger, but we can see you bigger. All right, God bless. Thanks so much.